Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu hosts bankers and administrators, promises corporate governance and thriving economy for residents and businesses. On the foreign scene, Storm Boris batters Italy days after causing widespread flooding in Central Europe. Do join us for more news shortly. Many thanks for joining us. I am Joshua Murakinyo. President Bola Tinubu will not attend the 79th United Nations General Assembly session in New York this year. The president has consequently directed Vice President Kashim Shettima to lead Nigeria's delegation. President Tinubu, who returned to the country last Sunday after a trip to China and the United Kingdom, wants to focus on domestic issues and address some of the country's challenges, especially after the recent devastating flooding. At August 79, Vice President Shettima will deliver Nigeria's national statement to the General Assembly, attend important sideline events, and hold bilateral meetings. A statement from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, says the high-level general debate with the theme Leaving No One Behind, acting together for the advancement of peace, sustainable development and human dignity for present and future generations will run from Tuesday, September 24 through Saturday, September 28, 2024. Now, the Presidential Livestock Reforms Implementation Committee has submitted its report to President Bola Tinubu. The committee, which was inaugurated on the 9th of July 2024, was mandated to provide wide range of recommendations that would not only open up the inherent economic value chains in the sector, but also help to achieve food and nutrition security for Nigeria. Addressing State House correspondent after submitting the report to Mr. President in his office, the chairman of the Presidential Committee, Professor Atahiru Jega, reviewed that following the 12 terms of reference given the committee, 22 recommendations were identified as indicators which must be pursued and actualized on a short, medium, and long-term basis.
You know, the immediate short-term plan is, of course, sensitization and public enlightenment, you know, and the engagement with communities, and the beginning to revive those traditional conflict resolution mechanisms, but on the justice of, on the basis of justice and fair play. And we believe that there is a lot that many stakeholders a role that many stakeholders can play in order to bring this about. So at our committee, we've interrogated these challenges. We've come up with some suggestions, and we believe we can begin to address some of these challenges.
The National Bureau of Statistics had the National Agricultural Sample Census and the projections by the Federal Department of Animal Husbandry Services. We have these numbers for our livestock: 563 million poultry, 600 million sheep, 124 million goats, 58 million cattle, 16 million pigs. This is a huge number for investors. If you take the feed industry for an example, all these animals need feed. You can imagine the volume of investment you will have in the feed industry.
Excellent.
Also, the committee specifically posited that the farmers' headache crisis in some parts of the country have been increasingly fueled due to the loss of trust in the education of the justice system. The committee therefore suggests continued engagement and sensitization among stakeholders as part of short-term plans to resolve the perennial cases of such conflict. Meanwhile, President Tinubu expressed satisfaction on the content of the committee report with the assurance that his administration is committed to exploring and exploiting the vast economic values which can be tapped from the livestock sector, which has suffered decades of neglect. And back in Lagos, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says his administration will continuously churn out programs and policies that will constantly enhance the living condition of residents. The governor reiterated this and more when he played host to 2 corporate associations at the Lagos House, Ikeja. Adetola Kayode reports.
Playing host to members of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, led by its president and chairman in council, Pius Olanrewaju, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu welcomed the team to Lagos House, Ikeja. The governor says the state's gross domestic product has in the last 5 years yielded great increase owing to his administration's well-thought-out plans and ideas. He promised to help ensure businesses continue to thrive in a safe, bearable and inclusive environment.
Where we came in, we made a budget size of about 500 and something billion. Today, we're doing in excess of 2.2 trillion budget. So, but even at that, we believe we could still do a lot more. You know, we could still do a lot because Lagosians deserves a lot more. So we realized that, you know, it's important for us to create an economy where businesses do well, where people see growth, where cost of governance and cost of living, you know, as much as possible, we can make it bearable, and that we can change the course positively of prosperity of our people.
The Institute's president commended Governor Sanwo-Olu for the various plans and programs initiated via his Things Plus agenda. Olanrewaju said the CIBN has plans underway to tackle the Japa syndrome, amongst other strategies in motion to render quality service to the people.
We want to build a human capital retention fund. Banks have contributed to date over 300 million. It's a token shame because what we really want to do is to make the place a state, you know, of the heart. That everybody, when you pass through the place, you will never be the same again. That's our dream, and we believe that will go a long way in solving Japaism, you know, and Japadaism will replace Japaism.
The team thereafter endorsed Governor Sanwo-Olu, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Almost immediately, another set of courtesy visit by the Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, followed suit, with the President Fumi Ekundayo seeking government's collaboration and capacity building for the state workforce and support for corporate governance.
We know that the value that ICSAN brings to the table is enormous because of the very strategic role that our members play within every value chain, within every ecosystem. So we would like to really encourage, you know, and also request that we are handed over to the relevant ministry that we can continue discussions with along the line of building capacity for Lagos State government civil servants.
The governor assured them that Lagos will continue to be an acceptable home for all, just as the state government will create more platforms and opportunities for people to grow.
The various offices will look for also ways of collaborating and ensuring that the positive addition that the Institute can bring into the quality of our civil servants will not be taken, you know, to chance at all. And we'll see that being reflective in how we grow that relationship.
The Chartered Institute of Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria also called for the right corporate governance structure in both private and public sectors across the country. Adetola Kayode, OTV News.
Now, the Lagos State government has commemorated year 2024 World Cleanup Day with a call to residents to imbibe good environmental practices. Special advisor to the governor on the environment, Olakunle Rotimi Akodo, appealed to residents to support the state government to achieve healthy and sustainable environment. Bukola Teloko reports.
It's the World Clean Up Day, a day set aside by the United Nations General Assembly to combat solid waste problems. In Lagos, the state government marked the day with an early morning cleanup exercise in Bada community, Oshodi Solo local government area.
What we met is actually not encouraging. The field is too much, and our people had cleaned, joined with the local market people, did the cleaning up, activity, and thereafter we moved down here so that we can sensitize them. We can talk to them on the need for them to ensure they don't drop the ball when it comes to the environmental cleanliness.
After the cleanup, the state government team inspected Ojaoke Dairy Market, also in Oshodi Solo. There they discovered several environmental infractions, and consequently, the market was sealed.
The market this morning, that market stinks. It seems for over a year they've not even cleared their gutters, their drainages. Even the market, everywhere you're smelling. So based on the directive from the Commissioner for Environment, I have to seal up the place, clean up the place. They've let us know. And when they have done proper thing by cleaning up the place, then the market will be reopened.
An advocacy and sensitization campaign was then organized for residents, with the state government emphasizing the message of a clean environment.
For all of us, every one of us, to come together and work together to achieve a cleaner environment.
Them to keep their environment clean, make sure they don't drop refuse in the gutters. They should make sure they make wherever they are clean it, so that when rain falls, there won't be flood everywhere.
Recall that the Lagos State government has over the months carried out extensive community-based clean-up and advocacy campaigns in several communities to highlight the crucial role of community participation in achieving an effective waste management system and a clean environment. Bukola Taylor Cole, LTV News.
Thank you, Bukola. And away from environmental stories, now let's talk politics. As part of measures against voter apathy, Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission is collaborating with political parties and other stakeholders. This comes on the heels of low participation in the electoral process over the years. Our correspondent Omololu Sanwo has the details.
Participation in elections and in the electoral process in Nigeria has been on the downward trend. The situation is even more worrisome at the grassroots. This may well explain why the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission LASIEC is out to change the narrative through drama, also known as skit.
It is a method, a strategy that we have developed to reach out to voters, to electorates, to let them know their rights, to let them know what is expected of them as voters. Many people, we have so many voters, the voter apathy is so wide and so much such that LASIEC is looking at every opportunity that it can to reach out to voters, such that by the time we have the next election, we'll have enough voter turnout. The percentage will not be too low.
Voter education is a necessary component of the electoral process, which eliminates misinformation and disinformation.
We are deeply worried about declining voter turnout in the states, because voter turnout keep declining. In 2017, the voter turnout in Lagos State in respect of local government election was 12.5. 2021, it's dropped to 10.3. So apart from affecting the credibility of elections, it also poses a serious challenge to democracy. In fact, it's a challenge to, it can lead to what we call legitimacy crisis, a situation where we will have barely 10% of the voters coming out to vote, and we are running a democratic and representative government.
Year 2025 is grassroots election in Lagos State, and this is crucial to democratic sustenance in Nigeria.
Local governments, 6 of them are really working in Lagos State. We do what we call peer reviews, we copy it, and there's this healthy rivalry amongst all the local councils in Lagos. And that is why you see projects upon projects in Lagos.
Apart from collaborative efforts with political parties, civil society organizations, security operatives, and other stakeholders, the use of drama to encourage more participation in the electoral process is surely a step in the right direction. Omalulu Rosongo, LTV News.
Still talking politics, the chairman of the All Progressives Congress in Lagos State, Cornelius Ojelabi, and Governor's Advisory Council members in Ikorodu Division have assured residents of developmental projects and more dividends of democracy. The leaders affirmed that the APC will only present qualified and competent candidates for elective positions during election. Ikorodu Bureau Chief Adeshegun Igop reports.
Leaders of the All Progressives Congress APC in Lagos State have pledged to continually put forward candidates with sterling qualities for elective positions, giving an edge over others, especially in preparation for the upcoming local government election in the state. At the unveiling of an ultra-modern legislative and administrative building named after a member of the Governor's Advisory Council, Asiwaju Olorunfunmi Basharun.
We will not sit at ACME and impose any candidate to you. Whoever that will become a councillor, whoever that will become a council chairman, under my watch as the chairman of the party, definitely will be from the people, because we are going to organize a free and fair primary where candidates will have to represent our party.
This council area here has been in existence since 1955, when Chief Awolowo was in charge in the West. But this is a glory for our own efforts and others in the past.
Deputy Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Mojisola Miranda, and member representing Ikorodu Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, Honorable Babajimi Benson, lauded the timely progress and the developmental strides.
The engine room of any democracy are the lawmakers, because without the lawmakers, there's no democracy. In order to make and provide a conducive working environment for the legislators, he has really done well.
I recognize the crucial role that a vibrant legislative chamber plays in driving development and progress. This chamber will provide a conducive environment for our councillors to be able to achieve their mandates of legislation, representation, and oversight.
Others had that the aesthetic masterpiece is an enabling environment for governance to thrive.
It would also engender further collaboration between the executive and the legislative arm of government, and it would serve, I'm confident that it will serve as a center of innovation, progress, and growth in this local government.
That for a government to be functional, there should be executive, legislative arm. And one of the major functions of legislative arm is for progressive policies and bylaws. Bylaws is what determine the good well-being of the people. So without proper laws, execution and implementation, without proper policy, without proper legislative activities, there cannot be good governance.
They commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his foresight in creating local council development areas as then governor of the state, a display of visionary leadership and good governance. Adeshegun Igop, LTV News.
Still ahead. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, others celebrate Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat at 60. That's in a moment. Do stay with us. Welcome back. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has redeployed Police Commissioner Tunji Disu from the River State Police Command to the Federal Capital Territory Command. The IGP moved the Commissioner of Police in Delta State, Abanwanda Olufemi, to the River State Police Command, while the FCT CP, Peter Opara, was moved to the Delta State Police Command. Force spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi said the deployment was to strategically place a police force well efficient for effective policing. Also, following the approval of the Police Service Commission, the IGP deployed 4 CPs as Commissioner of Police for Abia, Lagos, Ebonyi, and Akwa Ibom state commands. The IGP has, however, urged the new CPs of state commands to ensure diligence in the discharge of their lawful duties and adopt innovations that will mitigate security challenges in their respective areas of responsibility. He further encouraged them to key into the police reform plans, which will help the progress of the Nigeria police force and the growth of the country in general. 828,284 candidates secured credit in English language and mathematics, representing 60.55% of the candidates who sat for the 2024 Senior Secondary School Certificate internal examination conducted by the National Examination Council. Announcing the result at the headquarters of the council in Minna, the Niger State capital, on Thursday, NECO Registrar Professor Dantemi Wushishi said 1,376,436 candidates sat for the examination and that the results are coming about 2 months after the final examination. Other details of the results showed that 83.9% of the candidates who sat for the examination earned 5 credits and above, irrespective of English language and mathematics. Wushishi also gave a further breakdown of candidates involved in malpractices in the 2024 internal examination. He said 8,407, indicating a reduction from 12,030 in the 2023 examination. He said during the conduct of the examination, 40 schools were found to have been involved in mass cheating in 17 states, and that they will be facing a panel and appropriate sanctions will be applied. Similarly, Wushishi said the council have recommended the blacklisting of 21 supervisors for extortion and drunkenness. Staying with education, the Joint Action Committee of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Universities, NASU, have threatened to embark on an indefinite strike if the outstanding salaries are not paid within 3 weeks. This was disclosed in a statement jointly signed by SANU President Mohammed Ibrahim and NASU General Secretary Peters Adeyemi. According to the unions, the 10-day grace period given to the federal government to pay the 4 months of outstanding salaries to university staff expired on 26 July 2024. The unions issued another 3-week ultimatum beginning from Tuesday, September 17, to act on their demands or risk the indefinite strike by the unions. The unions threatened to shut down universities and inter-university centers if payment was not made within the fresh grace period. Recall the SANU and NASU are demanding, among other things, the payment of 4 months withheld salaries of their members, improved remuneration, earned allowances, and the implementation of the 2009 agreement with the federal government. Lagos residents have been advised to consider the health and economic benefit of family planning, especially in the prevention of unwanted pregnancies and control of sexually transmitted diseases. Speaking at a public sensitization outreach around Okeira community in Lagos State, primary healthcare workers urge residents to take advantage of the free family planning services available at all primary healthcare centers across the state.
On family planning, that's how we go about to tell people that some will tell you that I don't want baby, so why am I doing family planning? Or some will tell you that I'm not married, why am I doing family planning? We tell you that family planning is not only for married people, it's equally for unmarried. It helps to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Once you are sexually active, you are free to take a family planning.
We have different family planning. We have the tablets, we have the injection, we have the condom, depending on the one you want. We have the one you fix in the hand. We all know how the country is now, not that we just give birth to be going up and down without training. So let's give birth to the ones we can take care of and to space our children so that we can have time for ourselves have time for the children, and we can do other things too.
Some residents speak on their experiences and how family planning has helped in birth control.
The first time I did family planning, I took the one of 3 months. And the thing is, no, I didn't feel anything, no sickness, nothing. The only thing I feel is just that the period is not coming frequently, which I went to complain and they said that it's normal. So apart from that, no any other thing.
Recently, I decided to take a step, and actually the one I took was the injection type, and it's very good. Though I know about that most of it has side effects, but as for me, on the injection, no side effects so far.
Access to family planning is a fundamental human right, noting that a planned family is a happy family. Now, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commended his deputy, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, for his leadership skills and team spirit in taking Lagos State to greater heights. He made this known during the 60th birthday Thanksgiving service in honor of Dr. Obafemi Hamzat. Our correspondent Olubukola Akinkolosho reports.
Family, friends and colleagues trooped into the Lagos Community Central Mosque, Alausa, for the Thanksgiving service in commemoration of the 60th birthday celebration of the Lagos State Deputy Governor, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat. The lecture, which is in 2 parts, speaks on rearing of children with the fear of Allah and the need to show gratitude to Allah in relation to our communal interaction. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu describes the deputy governor as a brother worthy of emulation and a partner in progress who stands firm in his belief of a greater Lagos.
I want to use him as an example of what humility is, of what God-goodness is, of what when you create an environment where peace and tranquility works, nothing is impossible. I stand here to celebrate his life and to thank him for believing in my leadership, for agreeing, even when if he does not agree, he will agree. He can come back and disagree, but he will agree. For trusting in all of my leadership. And I want to say, and I pray for you, that which you are asking God for, quietly, knowingly, unknowingly, God Almighty, that creates way for men. We look at one way, but God looks at several ways to make it happen for you.
Others describe him as an intelligent technocrat and a force to reckon with. The elated celebrant thanked Almighty Allah for this milestone while assuring Lagosians not to relent in his pursuit for excellence.
Mr. Governor, may God continue to be with you. My darling sister, you are a very good woman. I saw your passion. The way Governor must have been, So we thank you. We thank you for your passion, your dedication. God will continue to bless you. And your children will fulfill their destinies. I'm grateful to you. My darling sister, my darling wife also. You know, she's like a shock absorber. Nothing, whatever it is. Anyway, so I thank you very much for being a good wife, for being a good mother, and for the children. May God continue to bless you all. Thank you for your support. Our fathers, Christian fathers, and Muslim fathers,
Dr. Obafemi Hamzat was the Commissioner for Science and Technology in 2005 under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was also the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure between 2011 and May 2015 under the administration of Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, and in 2019 till date, he is the Lagos State Deputy Governor. Olubukola Akinkolosho, LTV News.
Here's wishing the Deputy Governor happy birthday. Lagos State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awuyinka, has called for strategic partnership to enhance tourism in the state. She made the call during her tour of key cultural and historical landmarks in the state. Now the details in this report.
It was a busy day for the Lagos State Commissioner for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Toke Benson Awoyinka, as she embarks on a tour of some of the state's foremost iconic landmarks. From the John Randall Center to the historic Freedom Park and Onikon House, the Commissioner is on a mission to assess and enhance Lagos tourism potential.
To show Lagosians and to show the world the potential of Lagos tourism, the potential of showing off our heritage, the potential of us telling our history the way it should be told and not our history being told by other people. It is also to show our children that there's so much embedded in Lagos, there's so much culture, there's so much heritage, and there's so much to do out here, rather than us going to look for things elsewhere outside of our shore.
Begin to retell our stories. The National Museum itself is a national monument, and within that we have artifacts that go as far back as the 15th century. So these artifacts tell not just the Lagos State story, but the story of Nigeria. And by partnering with Lagos State, we can make the National Museum a tourist destination in a wider ecosystem of cultural tourism.
The Commissioner called for greater involvement from private sector, highlighting the need to further invest in the preservation of these historical sites while developing tourism-related infrastructure.
It's only when you've invested that you can then raise the standard so that people from all over the world can see and be willing to come here. There is a lot of opportunity for business, opportunity for job creation, opportunity to also project this city and this country in the right light.
The handshake between the federal and the state government is very, very vital here now. And he's representing the private sector. So we bring everything together to bring Lagos out to the world for us to be who we are. Our story is being told by ourselves and not being told on our behalf.
This tour of Lagos' iconic landmarks underscores the state's commitment to revitalizing tourism, not only to preserve its rich history, but also as a driver to economic growth. Ayola Adelesi, LTV News.
If you're just joining us, watching Lagos Television News at 8. Coming up. Federal government charges regulatory agencies to eliminate overlaps for improved ease of doing business. If that's in business news, do join us again.
On Business News tonight, Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged regulatory agencies to eliminate overlaps and align their actions with President Bola Tinubu's agenda for economic growth and improved ease of doing business in Nigeria. The Vice President said the administration of President Bola Tinubu remains committed to streamlining the regulatory environment in Nigeria. This, the Vice President says, is crucial in driving the coordination, transparency, and global competitiveness required for the nation's economic transformation. Senator Shettima stated this during the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council Regulators Forum to build an effective regulatory impact framework for Nigeria held at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Nano and small business operators have been advised to separate themselves from their businesses, especially in its finances, so as to have a sustainable business. These recommendations were highlighted at the 10th Business Summit organized by the Nigeria Association of Small and Medium Enterprises with the theme, Thriving in Uncertainty, Strategies for MSMEs in a Volatile Economy. Organizers and speakers here say, while the Nigerian economy records hard times, small business owners can thrive if they focus on customer intelligence, good quality, and inculcate sessions.
The important thing is for you to be, if you're able to network, is a plus for you. A particular business you don't know about it, or you are even into the business, you want to grow the business, you see other people here in the same business. Nothing stops you from sharing your ideas with them. And with that, I'm sure you'll be able to get one or two ideas to improve on your own business.
Other thing is that you are always in competition, whether you like it or not. Insofar as you are making money from that business, somebody will look at that as an opportunity for him, that if I go into the same business also, I should be able to make money. So you must be conscious, therefore, of competition. But the key thing for competition is this: no matter how big or small, and that connects to my first point, quality will make you stand out. So with quality, you can compete with any company, no matter how big they are. So and once you are known for that also,
participants applaud NASME for the program and say lessons learned here will help their businesses grow and contribute more to the nation's economy.
It's a big one. It's a good one in the right direction. MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises are already challenged in Nigeria. We are facing a lot of issues, and they're coming up today to discuss how we can navigate these issues, how we can thrive in the midst of uncertainty is, I think, the best thing that can happen to us.
Privileged to be part of the program today. It's a kind of eye opener to me, because I understand now better than before, because I noticed that there is a way we are doing business that we need to do better than what we are doing before.
The summit also featured talks from sister bodies including Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN, and the Lagos State Employability Trust Fund.
Team Lagos finished second overall at the 8th National Youth Games behind defending champions Team Delta as the host retained the title for the 7th time. Lagos gathered 65 medals, 26 gold, 20 silver and 19 bronze, an improvement on the 61 total medals at the 2023 edition, maintaining first runner-up position for the 5th consecutive year, while Team Edo State came third ahead of Team Bayelsa and Kwara in top 5. Represented by over 270 athletes at the 10-day fiesta held in Asaba, Team Lagos competed in 34 individual and team sports events and won medals in all except in athletics and Ayu Olokmo. Reacting to the successful outing, Director General Lagos State Sports Commission Lekon Fatodu said the state gave the host a run for their money, adding that the remarkable outcome has put Lagos on the path to win the youth games in the coming years. Fatodu added that Lagos will consolidate on the success of the 2024 National Youth Games while commending Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for motivating the athletes and officials.
So coming with the number of gold medals, particularly I have to make emphasis around the way we have conveniently and confidently swept all the gold medals in boxing. And we also trounced Delta, I must say that, in basketball. So we are now looking at different areas of our competitive advantage in sports. And I am sure that in the coming years, Lagos State, we come first.
While reaffirming the commitment of the Lagos State government to advance and promote sporting excellence through investment in infrastructure and developmental programs, Fatodu stated that the sports talent and athletes redefining success will enhance sports ecosystem in the state. The Director General added that the state will focus more on talent retention through provision of scholarships and opportunity for athletes to venture into other crafts and incentives through support of Governor Sanwo-Olu.
Looking at that from the angle of, sports development around education, what they are doing in school and what the future lies in terms of, some of them we may want to look at entrepreneurship, how we can connect entrepreneurship with sports. And these are some of the things Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, is doing in terms of deployment of resources to sports to ensure sports talent identification and retention. And we have equally improved in terms of welfare that is provided for these people, and also exchanging handshake with private sector, because we know that government cannot do it alone. So we are rebuilding that trust, and they are actually coming forward.
35 states and the Federal Capital Territory participated at the National Youth Games, with Rivers State not in attendance. All but Ebonyi and Zamfara State won at least a medal, as 5,776 athletes participated in the Asaba 2024 Games. Gloves for Africa has pledged more support for upcoming boxers as the foundation reinforced the impact of sport to bring hope to talent in socially challenged communities. The foundation has been supporting young people in challenged communities, using boxing as a tool to encourage talent to maximize their potential to become young champions. Creative Director Ola Wuyi, who was at the just concluded National Youth Games in Asaba Delta State, to distribute boxing gloves donated by the foundation to the top boxers in all 4 weight categories, seeks support for the youth through sport.
To keep young Indians off the streets, to become champion and role model. We are here in Delta State to support this initiative, the 8th annual National Youth Games, and we see what has been going on here. We brought gloves for the medalists to support them, to encourage them to become more better at what they do.
Olawuyi disclosed that the organization, founded by United Kingdom-based sports philanthropist and boxing enthusiast Chuks Uwachia, has adopted boxing to spread the message of hope and inspire talent to attain greater heights in the chosen career.
Most of these young individuals boxers need more of encouragement to make them know that the impossible does not exist, regardless of their challenge communities. They are bound to succeed. They have that potential in them. So when a body like us come in to support these ones with amenities, the equipment they need to succeed, I'm sure they have greater height in place for them.
The youth development advocates express optimism that improvement in grassroots sports in Nigeria will get better, calling for more intervention from corporate organizations and well-meaning individuals. Commenting on the performance of young athletes in the boxing event of the Asaba 2024 National Youth Games, Olawuyi noted that most of the participants are not being adequately supported by their states.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, Storm Boris is battering the northeast and central regions of Italy days after causing widespread flooding in Central Europe. More than 1,000 residents in the northeastern region of Emilia-Romagna have been evacuated, while towns in the central region of Marche of Italy reported serious flooding and disruption. Though there are no reports of any casualties, but schools across Emilia-Romagna have closed. Some roads were impacted by landslides, and railway traffic has been severely disrupted. Authorities warned residents to stay out of their basements and relocate to the upper floors of their homes. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. This is the news roundoff. The Vice President Kashim Shettima will be leading the Nigerian delegation to the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York. President Bola Tinubu has received report from Presidential Committee on Implementation of Livestock Reform. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu hosted bankers and administrators, promised corporate governance and thriving economy for residents and businesses. On the foreign scene, we told you that Storm Boris battered Italy days after causing widespread flooding in Central Europe. For more news, connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. This is our pattern shot tonight. Try to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free line 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. On behalf of the production team, I am Joshua Murakinyo saying good night.